Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Jezreel Corrales and Jose Valenzuela will match up in a 10-round lightweight matchup to begin the pay-per-view. Now let's get into our next matchup, as this one should be a very compelling affair. It is the return of the 3-division world champion in Abner Mares, but let's talk with his adversary first of all. His adversary has been inside the ring against the likes of Leo Santa Cruz, also Eduardo Ramirez. His record, 24 wins, opposite 4 defeats, a dozen wins, coming by way of knockout. Originally born in Mexico, now residing in Spring, Texas. As I mentioned, he challenged Leo for a 130-pound championship back in November of 2019. He realizes this is a major opportunity. If he's successful, then he puts himself in line for another big opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miguel El Michoacano Flores. Miguel, how are you feeling?
Awesome, excited to be a part of a great card. I mean, just hearing Valenzuela and Corrales talk, man, I'm just excited. It's gonna be a great night of fights. All of the fights actually have Mexicans in them, so it's gonna be a great night of fights. And I'm just excited. The name Abner Mares, it brings a lot to the table. So I want to just take advantage of the opportunity that's given to me.
All right. Well, now let's talk with your adversary, your opponent that'll be standing across the ring from you on Sunday, September 4th. Abner Mares, well, a 3-division world champion, 31-3-1, 15 wins coming by way of knockout, a world champion at bantamweight, world champion at super bantamweight, and at featherweight. He is a 2004 Mexican Olympian, born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, now living in Montebello, California. He has fought 4 straight fights in the Los Angeles area. I mean, one fight that really comes to mind is almost 7 years ago, August 29, 2015, a legendary night in Los Angeles boxing. Him and Leo Santa Cruz threw over 2,000 punches combined. The bell rang. They went to the center of the ring and started going toe-to-toe towards one another. It's the kind of fighter that he is. And after 4.5 years away from the ring, we welcome him with open arms. Please welcome the former 3-division world champion, Abner Mares. Abner, how are you, my friend?
What's going on, bro? How you doing? First of all, are you two related?
No, we're not.
Not at all.
We're not related.
That's funny. No, everything's good, man. Just happy to be on this card. Happy to be back. Period. Be fighting again. I'm just overjoyed with good gratitude more than anything towards a lot of people that made this happen, and I can't wait for September 4th because it's a comeback that I've asked for a while, and it feels even it's more meaningful because it's in hometown. It's here in LA, so I can't wait. It should be a good one.
Abner, I talked with you a couple of weeks ago during the kickoff press conference that we had on the top of the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, but that was about 2 weeks ago. Now that you're really in the heart of training camp, how has this process been like? Is it sort of like, when you ride a bike and you're sort of, back on once again? Right. Is it different for you as you're now 36 years of age? What has the process been like as you're now into the heart and the meat of training camp?
It's a good question and fair question. And people should know that, once you get to a certain age, certain point of your life, speaking of, age, getting older, obviously you got to train different. I train smarter, not harder. I know it's the same, but it's true. I can't do the same things I used to do. I am sparring younger fighters, but I can't go toe to toe with them. I got to be smart. I got to do what I got to do, but at the same time, get the great condition that I need to. Put in all my experience into the ring, and it's been a tough training camp. I'm not gonna lie, because I've been out for so long, 4 years and a half to be exact. And but what I'm doing this camp that in most camps I've never done really is enjoy it. I'm really just enjoying myself. I'm making progress. I'm enjoying my time with my family. Every time I spar, my kids, my wife, my friends come and see me spar, because I take this as possibly my last fight. So I want them to enjoy it with me. And it's just it's one of those opportunities that you know hardly ever get after 4 years, and I'm trying to make it a memorable one.
Abner, real quick, you mentioned that this could possibly be your last fight.
Yes.
Is this the sort of thing where if you have an impressive performance against Miguel Flores that you're like, okay, this is the way I want to go out? Or is it the opposite way in the sense that if I look really good against him, let me test myself again? So
Right.
have you thought about what that process might be like to make that decision?
I have not thought about it because that's putting pressure on myself to, I don't know, it's just too much pressure. I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I said it at the press conference, you know, at the Andy Ruiz and Ortiz press conference. I'm not calling out no one. I don't want to fight the best right now. I'm taking it fight by fight, and you know, it is what it is. It's just Miguel Flores in front of me. I'm gonna enjoy this fight, and then take it as it is. You know, we'll see what happens after that.
Miguel, for you to be able to get inside the ring against someone of the caliber of Abner Mares, pretty much in his hometown of Los Angeles, you know, you're coming off a win over Dihu Lolguin. When you've made your step up in competition, it hasn't gone your way. But do you think that this victory, and if you're impressive in a performance against Abner Mares, then it can catapult you to fighting amongst the elite in the division?
I mean, exactly. That's what I said. The name, just a name, even though he's been out for a while, the name Abner Mares, it brings us, still has a value, you know, it brings a lot to the table. So, you know, like Abner said, actually, you know, I'm taking it fight by fight. You know, I got to get past him in order to get bigger fights. So right now our focus is, you know, in Abner. Like people say, he's been out 4 years, but you never know, man. Rest does you good. You know, you never know. He may come out feeling fresh. You know, these training camps are harder. So I'm sure these years that he's been out, it's been helping his body recuperate. So I'm expecting, you know, the best version of Abner Mares. And, you know, I know he's a true veteran. We're also veterans. You know, I'm 30. I just turned 30 a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, me, myself, I almost have 30 pro fights. So I'm a veteran myself. So that just shows you're going to have two, you know, experienced fighters. I've competed in the world-class level. I've fallen short, you know, against Ramirez and Leo, but I've been there. So, you know, every time I know what it takes. So, you know, we're just excited, and, you know, we're going to give the fans a great show.
All right, we're going to turn it over to the media for questions. Make sure to raise your hand. And then when we call upon you, unmute yourself. Kenneth Bahari, all you, my friend.
Thanks, Ray. First question from Keith Eidick.
Yes, my question is for Abner. Abner, you've been off for such a long time, obviously. Was there a point where you really thought you were not going to fight again? And then if so, what changed your mind about it?
Yes, there was a point in my life where I thought I was not going to come back ever again. Frustration more than anything, because I think I waited a year after my injury. I did try to go for my license, but then, you know, my family and, you know, people around me said, you know what, why bother, Abner? You know, you're retired, you're good. Because, you know, I am good. I'm blessed. I am good where I'm at right now. So that kind of stopped me from continuing to pursue, you know, my what I wanted to, which was, you know, to come back. And then when I went and applied for my license, the California license, you know, it was a lot. It was a lot. I had to go through a lot of doctors, you know, people saying that I might not be able to. So it was a process. So yeah, of course, you know, it crossed my mind that, you know, maybe I would never get the opportunity. Maybe they will vote against, you know, me getting my license, but it was quite the opposite. Thank God I got the okay, the approval, and I'm here, and I'm taking fully advantage of it. I'm training 100%. I'm training. You know, I'm just enjoying this camp, training really well. And like I said, I'm treating this like I have been ever since because this is not my first detachment. I had a detachment back in 2008. If you guys knew. You know, and I was able to make a career after that. But now and ever since, I always saw my every fight as possibly my last fight, so on. But I did make a career out of it. So this fight, I'm seeing it as my last fight. So, you know, I'm gonna go out with the bang. I'm gonna go out with on my shield, and you know, I'm gonna put a performance for all my fans, my family, my siblings. You know, everybody that's gonna be out in LA at the crypto arena.
You mentioned it was a very long process for you at the California Commission. How long ago?
It started last year, mid last year, because of the COVID issue. You know, everything we had to do through Zoom, emails. I did go see physically two commissioner retina specialist, aside from my doctor. So it was just a process. You know, that obviously any fighter that's been injured, especially the seriousness that, you know, they took it really professional, and, you know, I just followed instructions and just waited for my turn.
My last question for you, Abner, is you mentioned previously your family kind of dissuaded you coming back and said, you know, you're okay financially, you've accomplished a lot, why bother? How much negotiating did you have to do, maybe with your wife and your children and anyone else, to kind of convince them that this was the way you should go?
It took them a while to understand that it wasn't something that I just wanted because, you know, financially or you know, it took them a while to understand that it was something personal, something that I wanted, you know, but at the same time, but like, Dad, you know, we don't want you to get hurt, you know. I'm like, I'll be good, baby. I'll be good, girls, you know, I can defend myself. So so they understood. As a matter of fact, today I had a sparring session and they were there, my daughters and my wife, and, you know, to see my little one to say, give me props and be like, Dad, you did good today, give me 5, you know. So things like that, and I'm just enjoying myself, like I said, and but it took them a while, but now they're on it. You know, they support me 100%, like I support them.
And Abner, how old are your children now?
I got a 16-year-old and a 11-year-old daughter.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Abner. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Ismail Abdul Salam.
Thank you, KB. First question is for Miguel. Miguel, obviously, you know, coming into this fight, Abner, like he mentioned, he's had this habit right now. He's fully back as far as we know. But on your end, as a fighter looking for weaknesses and things to exploit, is that something that you would feel comfortable targeting, or do you feel like that's not something you want to put into your strategy when you're deciphering a way to beat Abner Mares?
Yeah,
damn, bro, that's a crazy question.
You know, that's I think people have mentioned it to me, but to me, Abner is a target. You know, I don't just want to, you know, focus on that. What if that doesn't work? What if he's good on his eye? Well, he should be good on his eye. You know, no, like I want to target his body. He's been out. I want to see how his body's doing. You know, he is the target, so I'm not even worried about that. Like I said, people don't realize, man, having a couple of time off, it does your body good. So I'm sure Abner knows. Man, I like, to be honest, I tell people Abner's a grown-ass man. He knows what he's doing. Like, he's not going to put his life in jeopardy. So no, his eye's not a target. I mean, I'm targeting him. He is the target. I'm targeting his body, and I'm not even worried about that. That's not even, you know, something we're worried about right now.
Thank you. And my last question for you, Abner, when Muhammad Ali came back in 1970, he mentioned the biggest thing was the stamina. He said even after 3 rounds, when he knocked out Jerry Quarry, he was exhausted. That was like the biggest thing for him to try and get back. For you, has it also been the stamina, or has it been something different when you're getting back into training and getting ready for the fight?
I mean, for any fighter, I mean, stamina is everything. Training, you know. And for me, the older fighter and the one that's been out, I mean, it's just really is timing. You know, aside from the stamina, you know, I'm gonna get ready regardless. I'm gonna do my conditioning. I'll be ready for 10 rounds, but it's the timing more than anything for me. The reflexes, you know, finding your distance, and we saw that against last weekend, Danny Garcia, what he did. You know, after 2 years, his timing was there. So it's just a matter of sparring a lot, and that's all I'm worried about. My timing, really, the conditioning. You know, no concern because I train 100% to always be in shape.
Miguel, Abner, thank you very much. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ismail. We'll take our next question from Erica Montoya.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Abner, buenas tardes. Quisiera que me contaras cuál es la motivación principal para regresar ya que mencionabas que dentro de tus metas no está ahorita hablar de los grandes nombres.
Mi motivación, well, Martin, you want to translate that first?
Sure. It's what after such a long time away, what do you think is your biggest motivation? What drives you in this fight?
Lo voy a contestar en inglés, América, para que. So basically, my motivation is just to go out on my shield, go out on my own terms, not to be the fighter that, hey, he retired because he got injured. No, I want to be remembered as Abner Mares. After 4 years, he comes back and he puts on a spectacular show and he wins, and he calls it quits, and that's it. I went out on my own terms. I went out on my shield, and that's pretty much why I'm doing this.
De todo
Bueno,
lo que has.
Perdón, Erika, te le voy a
No,
hacer-
Erika entiende muy bien
Sí,
inglés.
ya. No tengo
para el resto,
problema.
lo iba a hacer para el resto, pero si no es necesario, dale, tranquila.
Abner, me estabas comentando que te quieres ir bajo tus propios términos. De
Ujú.
todo lo que hiciste tú arriba del ring, ¿te quedó algo por hacer que digas, por eso también estoy regresando?
Do you think that with everything that you have done previously inside the ring, is the comeback motivated by maybe something that you feel that you still need to prove, that you still need to accomplish, and that makes you want to come back even more?
I mean, yes, of course. The fact that when I got, when they pulled the plug, basically, because of my injury, I had unfinished business with Tank Davis. I was going to fight Tank Davis, a great fight, and people can still talk and say that you would have lost. No, at that time I would have beat Tank Davis. Probably a Leo Santa Cruz rematch. A lot of fights that at that age, at that time, I could have done. So yeah, maybe that motivates me as well. But like I said, I'm taking it fight by fight.
Muchas gracias y mucho éxito, Abner.
A ti, Erika, gracias, cuídate.
Thank you, Erica. Our next question comes from Ernesto Amador.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Tengo una pregunta para Abner y otra para Miguel. Yo también entiendo inglés, querido Abner, pero te voy a pedir que me contestes en español, por favor.
Va,
Sí,
vale.
nada más. Abner, a ver, hay que hablarlo en plata. Tienes familia, dinero, negocios, 3 divisiones, un gran trabajo como comentarista. Felicidades, por cierto. Entiendo que tienes ganas de cerrar tu carrera de otra manera, pero platícanos, ¿cómo tomaste la decisión? ¿Qué fue lo que te hizo regresar desde el fondo de tu corazón? ¿Recuperaste el Eye of the Tiger? Y junto con esa pregunta, una obligada, ¿sería esa asignatura pendiente con Leo Santa Cruz para cerrar con broche de oro tu carrera?
It's a twofold question from Ernesto. Well, Abner, you have the money, you have the family, you do have the accomplishment having won 3 divisions. What's left there for you to want to accomplish that drives you to come back in that way? And second of all, do you feel like part of the reason for coming back is that you still have a bit of a grudge against Leo Santa Cruz, something to, like that you need to even up with him in order to go out like you want to, as someone that went out in his own terms?
Bueno, pues, Amador, muy buen Amador, pues obviamente las ganas, el deseo y la oportunidad, ahí está. Vuelvo y no me canso de decir que las oportunidades se aprecian, y más cuando sientes aún que puedes dar y tienes con qué dar. Así que estoy tomando esto con esa conciencia de que puedo todavía otorgar bastante en el boxeo ante un rival bueno como Miguel Flores. Y lo de Leo Santa Cruz, bueno, pues vuelvo a decir, dependiendo de cómo me vea, si me veo de la patada, pues ¿para qué? ¿Me entiendes? Y si me veo bien y si hay esa oportunidad, nuevamente hablando de las oportunidades, con mucho gusto haríamos la trilogía nuevamente, Leo Santa Cruz y Abner Mares aquí en Los Ángeles.
Well, as far as the first question goes, for the reason for the comeback, I still want to, I still have the drive, I still have the fire in me. And when you have those things, why not come back and try to do your own thing and try to show that you're still very much capable of reaching great heights? As far as Leo Santa Cruz goes, first of all, let's see how I look in this fight. If I look like crap, then why even try? Then like I don't even think that would be a possibility. But if I look like I know I can look, and the Santa Cruz possibility is there, then let's do it. The trilogy can absolutely happen if the door is open.
Okay. Y esta es la para Miguel. Miguel, con el gusto de saludarte, michoacano. Vas a enfrentar literalmente una leyenda joven, una leyenda peligrosa y una leyenda muy hambrienta como es Abner Mares. Creo que la prensa está diciendo que eres un rival sencillo, creo que se equivocan enormemente. Mi doble respeto para Abner Mares por enfrentar a alguien tan peligroso como tú, pero voy en contraparte.
I think we lost Ernesto. The question was going to be basically, Miguel, whether I guess what he was going to ask was, that you're fighting against somebody that people may be overlooking, that they're calling him an easy opponent. But do you think that the challenge that you're facing against a former champion is something that people should look at differently instead of the way that they're looking at it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was right. He was saying basically, I'm fighting a living legend, and he's right. Winning world titles at 18, 22, and 26. Shit, some of us can't even do it at one weight, and he did it at 3. So that tells you a lot about Abner. But then, as far as sometimes it may be good to not look too good in your fights, because I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight. We've obviously had some rough nights against Eduardo Ramirez. That's one of my worst nights in my boxing career. But I'm always grateful for PBC and the opportunity. This will be my 3rd pay-per-view event. So I hope they're not thinking that I'll be an easy fight, because on my best night, I've beat some good solid opponents, and I know what I could do. Sometimes as your team will see you and like, man, if you could pull this off fight night, it'll be the perfect night. And I'm hoping, come September 4th, it'll be that perfect night. And I hate to ruin Abner's plans, but we're going to LA looking to call it an upset. Instead of a comeback, it'll be an upset for Abner. And we're looking to go in there and possibly knock him out.
Could you possibly say that in Spanish in an abridged way? Because I know Ernesto wanted the answer in Spanish, please.
Okay. Sí, no, pues como dijo Ernesto, estamos peleando con una leyenda viviente. Pues obviamente Abner es campeón, fue campeón mundial en 3 divisiones, 18, 22 y 26. Muchos de nosotros no podemos ni siquiera una división, y él lo hizo en 3, entonces eso no es nada fácil, pero a la vez, pues, dicen que tal vez yo sea una buena para que él se retire, pues estamos ahí para arruinar los planes. Obviamente, pues no he tenido unas buenas noches. También cuando peleé con Eduardo Ramirez fue una de mis peores noches de mi carrera, pero pues siempre agradecido con la empresa que nos siguen dando oportunidades. Esta sería mi 3ª por pago por evento. Entonces, es hora de tomar pues hacer las cosas posibles para llegar con la victoria y pues arruinar los planes de Mares, darle un bonito retiro para que pues ya no quede con ganas de regresar al boxeo.
Yes, amigo. Kenneth?
All right.
Thank you for that question, Ernesto. I'm sorry, Ray. Back to you.
No worries, Kenneth. I just wanted to thank Abner and Miguel for their time.